Alright, so it's Sunday morning. Yesterday, Saturday, I didn't get any filming done because we were very busy and I had Steve and Cody here helping me. We used the trencher and were able to get a lot of this accomplished and filled back in. Just a few little things need to be touched up and finished up, and I'll show you what we got. So, the conduit going over to the pole is done, and the water line to the camper is done, and this is the RV pedestal, so it is ready for inspection. There's still a little bit of water in the PVC pipe, so on the other end we have duct taped the backpack blower to it to blow that water out. Should be interesting. And then what we have here is some underground conduit going up under the camper so that my power cable doesn't lay on the ground. And then we also got the sewer done all the way back to there. Still need to finish that up and tidy that up, and I need to put in the tie-ins for the container itself. And then there was a minor issue over here that I had to fix, because when I had the trencher the first time, I saw those drain pipes hanging down because that blue one wasn't there. So I was eyeballing those and trenched to that. Those are actually the drain pipes. The water line's gonna go in here. But we got that fixed. We got the sewer hooked up. And this is where the conduit comes up, where I'm going to be able to run to the camper itself. And we got water line run over here to this faucet. And I promise, first of the week, the gimbal camera is coming, and this is going to look so much better, and maybe you won't throw up. So we were good to get this done, except for one minor issue. Lowe's, even though their computer said they had 7 in stock, did not have the adapter to go from PVC pipe to PEX. So we improvised. We glued on a threaded PVC so that I can get a threaded PEX adapter to screw into that. And just to make sure the thing didn't blow off last night when we tested the water line, we put this clamp on. So on the bright side, there is now water in the camper. And we have this water line dug here and a dead end cap, so that when I get the container situated, I've already got the water line in. So next to it, I'm going to put in the sewer line and go ahead and get that run and dead end cap it. So the container that's actually sitting in front of me is the one with all the junk in it, and it's going to get moved over there, about where the corner of that post is, where it should be. The other container, which is currently way over there, is going to go about where this one is, and then we'll figure out the rest later. Also yesterday, way over there in the distance, way over there, 32 bags of concrete to pour these piers and the cardboard tubes to put them in. So those will be going under here, over here under the 4 corners. So there's a lot of ways you could do the foundation for this thing, but considering the 4 corners of the ends of this, how much weight they're rated for, I think they're gonna support this container. I don't think I'm gonna put enough weight in it, because on the front of the container is a sticker showing what this thing is capable of. So we'll just walk around. So by the way, this is an awesome generator. Got it from Rural King. It's a Furman, and it's a dual fuel. So if you run out of gas and you got a propane tank, you just hook that sucker up. Got electric start. Pretty sweet. Sure beat the old one that you cranked and cranked on and like to kill you. So if you look at the sticker on this thing can hold 71,000 pounds. It's 8,600 pounds empty. But if you see these things on a ship, you see them stacked 6 or 7 high. So if they've all got 70,000 pounds in them and they're stacked that high and all the weight is on those corners, I think we're good. So, place is kind of a mess. There's stuff strewn everywhere. Today, I have Richard with me helping me out. So, I'll show you what we got going on today. Nothing terribly exciting you missed yesterday with me not filming other than me breaking a shovel, which is, I think it landed out there in the woods somewhere over through it. So, Richard is currently working on painting and sealing this floor with this. So the plan is we're going to paint, seal this floor, and then I have 1.5 inches of styrofoam insulation that's tongue and groove that we'll put down over top of this, and then the OSB is going to go on top of that. Thursday, the spray foam guys will be here, and my estimate was $2,300 to spray foam this, and that is putting 1 inch on top of this rib, and then enough spray foam in here, about 2 inches, so that this would be mostly level. That is the plan. This container has dents down the side, on both sides, so spray foam is definitely a good way to go with this one because filling in the dents. The other container does not have dents down the side nearly as bad. However, there are a couple spots in the roof. Speaking of the roof, when I looked at this container, it was actually the best one that had left. But when I looked at the roof, I walked in and looked at the roof from here back. When I walked out of the container, I neglected to look at this part. So, I got some brass brushes that will go on the drill, and we'll knock that brush off, or knock that rust off, and cover it with some Rattle Can Rust-Oleum sandable primer, and then maybe hit up some of these other little rusty spots. It's just surface rust. This thing's made out of Cortan steel. I'm not terribly worried about it, but before we cover it permanently with insulation, it won't take but a second to go down and just spray some over it. I don't think it's deep enough to warrant serious sanding. But the reason we are sealing this floor in is I'm going to show you this sticker. Plate, really. So this is the official plate. Shows where it was made, all that good stuff, all this interesting information, blah, 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 blah. Allowable stack weight. That's how much weight you can stack on top of the 4 corners of this container before it crushes. I think we're good. Now, the other issue is this particular container, when it was built, made out of Chinese steel and painted with God knows what cheap paint they used, the wood is a little over 1 inch thick, and it's treated with this. So they treat it to keep it from rotting, but then they also treat it for insects. And obviously all that stuff is very toxic and it will off gas, which is why we're sealing it in with primer. And this other container, since they're almost exactly identical, should have the same stuff in it. That right there. So you can look that up and see how bad it really is. But it also rates, all these other things. And one of the things you'll see on the internet if you look up these is, this is interesting. This one, the allowable stack weight here, end wall strength is here. So one of the things they'll tell you not to do with a shipping container is do not bury it in the ground, because the sides are not reinforced and it will crush. So anywho, that's what we got going on. We'll try to get some filming done of various things. Maybe I'll try to do something fancy with time lapse. Maybe not. Right now, we're gonna jump in the big green tractor and spread some of this larger rock to cover this and that, now that we don't have a Bellagio fountain going on. And then this smaller rock up here, we'll use that to spread, and smooth things out because it's got a lot of powder in it, and when it rains it gets hard, almost like not quite like concrete, but it gets there. And I actually had a load dumped down the driveway to raise it up, because at the end of the driveway it's not a good spot to pull out, so it raised the driveway about a foot so you can see a little better getting out. I don't have any problem in the Expedition or in the Bronco. And if you haven't met the Bronco, 1996 Bronco XLT Sport, the last year made of a real Bronco anyway. His name is Evil Bert. The Expedition does not have a name. We're just going to call it the Expo for now. Related topic over there, there's the backpack blower with the nozzle duct taped to the pipe to blow the water out. And then we'll do something interesting, and maybe on the short videos I'll drop them on Instagram instead of YouTube. But what we do is Kenergy, which is the power company here, there's a tree in the way, but up there's a transformer and a really crappy light. When they come out, they're going to replace that light with an LED light and come down off the transformer into the conduit. So what I have to do is leave a pull string, which in my case is going to be paracord, for them to pull the wire through. So the pull string is not in there. Once we get the rest of the water blown out to make sure it's dry, we'll let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll blow it out again, let it dry. We're going to tie the paracord onto that Rural King bag like a parachute, and then we're going to go the other end with the shop vac and suck that plastic bag through, which should pull the paracord, and it's plenty long that the paracord's strong enough to pull through the cable that they're going to run to the RV pedestal. I got lucky when I went to the electrical supply place. Instead of dropping a pole in, which I would be responsible for, they had an RV pedestal that somebody ordered by mistake. So on one side is 50 amp, and then in the middle is 30 amp, and the other side there's a 20 amp with two GFI receptacles. So the camper runs on 50 amp. So for now, we can just run the 50 amp to that, and then I can run 30 amp over to this container that we're going to do first. So, anywho, maybe I'll shoot some more videos. I do have this new tripod to play with that is flexible, and the pads of it are magnetic, so we'll give that a shot. Anywho,